Hello everyone, I'm Sarge and today I'm bringing you a Fallout 76 starter build. This is a level 15 character designed to get you started with an early Rifleman build, without the need for weeks of grinding non-stop to get the perfect gear and unlock every single perk card. Instead, I'm giving you an early build to work on, something you can use for starting up a new character who you want to eventually be a deadly sniper or versatile fighter. I will also have a starter shotgun build out within the next week, and can make other starter builds if these ones do well enough, so feel free to ask in the comments below if there's anything specific you'd like to see. Enough of the intro, let's move on and go over the core of this build. The special for this build is 1 strength, 6 perception, 1 endurance, 3 charisma, 3 intelligence, 4 agility and 3 luck. As the rifle based perks reside within the perception card pool, this had to be the highest stat. Also, having reasonable agility and luck does make this build a bit more effective in VATS-based combat, giving us more AP to work with and a slightly faster filling crit meter. Additionally, those few extra points of agility do help with stealth. We may be too lower level for any sneak perks, but that doesn't stop us from being able to remain hidden, something I'll go into further in the playstyle section. First on perks for the build is Travelling Pharmacy. We only have a single point of strength, so you aren't going to have a high max carry weight. Rifles are pretty heavy, and there's still no perk card to reduce their weight, so instead we're just looking to reduce the weight of chems to save us a few points of carry weight as we travel. Feel free to switch this over to Pack Rat instead if junk tends to weigh you down more than chems. In Perception we have our most important perk card, Rifleman. Once maxed out, this will grant us an extra 20% damage with non-automatic rifles. It's a simple card, but is essential to the build. Our other Perception perk card is Concentrated Fire, once again at max rank. This will allow you to target individual limbs in VATS, and also yield bonus accuracy and damage per each shot you take in VATS, something that can prove real handy in a pinch. Within Endurance, I really don't have any recommendations, and would actually advise that you don't spend any level ups in Endurance perk cards, instead just slot in whatever you happen to get from perk card packs. For Charisma, we have the standard change-up, depending on if you're in a team or not. If a primarily solo player, then I heavily recommend investing into Lone Wanderer, as this amazing perk reduces the damage you take and ups AP regen. If in a team though, Inspirational will increase how quickly you level up, which everyone wants. For Intelligence, I went with Gunsmith and Demolition Expert. You'll need Gunsmith at rank 2 in order to fully mod out your primary weapon. It also reduces wear and tear on your firearms, making it a real solid card. Demolition Expert increases explosive damage by 20% at rank 1. If we are facing against a horde of enemies and want to soften them up, then throwing a frag in the middle of them all will be a lot faster than shooting them each individually. For Agility, there's only one perk that really matters: Action Boy. This helps you regenerate AP faster, making regular VATS usage more viable. Agility does house several other good low-level cards though, so you may also want to consider Through Hiker and Born Survivor. The former helps with carry weight issues, and the latter can be a literal lifesaver in a pinch. With Luck, I didn't stress too much about getting the perfect perks straight away. None of the early perks in Luck are critical to a Rifleman build, so don't worry about using level ups on Luck cards if there's anything else I previously mentioned that you can get instead. As for what I actually ended up with in Luck, I had Good with Salt, Scrounger, and Can Do. Keep in mind this is a level 15 build, so you have to think carefully when leveling to get as strong as possible early on. For this reason, you'll often end up like I did, having to rely on whatever perk card packs provide to get cards for the stats you want us focused on. I'll have a full Nukes Dragons link in the description below for anyone looking to reference this build quickly and easily. When it comes to weapons for this build, we have a few different ones to use. The most important though will be a hunting rifle, modded out as a deadly sniper, able to drop most foes with a single round. When it comes to modding out this weapon, you're going to want a hardened receiver and perforating magazine in order to deal the most damage. A medium scope will give you strong range with the weapon. I sometimes have people comment saying I should use the long scope, but the draw distance for 76 and damage drop off from all weapons makes long scopes no better than the medium and often somewhat worse. Finally, you'll want to add on a suppressor in order to help you stay stealthy whilst using this weapon. This does lose you a little range, but it's a worthy sacrifice to allow you to pick off entire locations without ever entering danger. You may have noticed that my hunting rifle is a legendary variant. When you go through the Wayward questline, if you choose Rifle as your legendary weapon reward, then you'll get a hunting rifle with anti-armor and bonus crit damage, a great couple of effects to get guaranteed on your primary weapon. Next on the list of weapons is a pipe rifle. You'll be stumbling across these every 5 seconds in the early game, so earning mods should be easy enough. As for modding out the gun, there's only 2 things you really have to do. Add on a hardened receiver for max damage, and make sure you've got a stock rather than a grip on the gun. Pipe guns can be pistols or rifles, and you're going to need a rifle stock or else you won't get the bonus 20% damage from Rifleman. Finally, we have a laser rifle. This weapon will likely be the hardest to mod out, however there's plenty of super mutants who carry around laser weapons to break down. Similar to the pipe rifle, you want to be careful with the stock. Don't put a grip on it or it will be a pistol. Also, avoid automatic receivers or else you won't get the 20% boost either. Fortunately, laser rifles don't need to be modded out too heavily early on to still be strong, so try not to overthink things too much with this one. Early on, your armour will likely be comprised largely of leather pieces. If you can, I'd recommend modding leather pieces with the shadowed armour effect, helping you to stay hidden. As for the aesthetic, I went with the VTU jacket and jeans. These should be easily found along Fraternity Row by Morgantown. Do keep in mind that clothing has no practical benefits to your character, it's just nice to have your characters wear something other than mismatched armour pieces. On to how this build actually plays now, and hopefully this will be a fairly straightforward segment. Primarily, you're a sniper. Keep well away from your enemies, try to get a vantage point to hold out at, and take your time picking off enemies with lethal headshots. This method can lead to you being able to clear out areas well above your level if you're cautious and accurate enough. In fact, at some point in this video, there will have been footage of me clearing out Huntersville, an area deep within the Savage Divide, and certainly not somewhere you typically want to find yourself at level 15. You won't always be wanting to snipe your enemies from afar. If you're in tight quarters or just facing down level 1 Scorched, your sniper isn't always going to be the ideal weapon. That's where the pipe and laser rifles come in. Use these in order to deal with weak groups of enemies or when your sniper feels cumbersome. For tough enemies at close range, the ideal way to take them down would be to target them in VATS, aim for their head, and then lay down as many shots as possible until they're vanquished. And there we have my starter Rifleman build. Do keep in mind that this is merely a starting point for you to work with, a point where you can aim for early on so that you don't have to wait until you're level 50 before you can actually start playing the game the way you want to. If you found this video helpful, then please do leave a like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications if you want to stay up to date on all things 76. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.